Welcome to St. Petersburg, Florida, as the fans make their way into Tropicana Field for Game 1 of a 3-game weekend series between the Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Rays. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Always fun when the Red Sox and Rays get together, and certainly, Jerry, all eyes on David Ortiz.
Well, it could happen tonight. You know, 2 more home runs for 500 in his career. He's facing a guy in Chris Archer that he has 2 career home runs against, and one came last year down here at the Trop where David kind of pimped around the bases a little bit, throwing his bat and taking a long time to get around. That didn't make Archer happy at all. That's when David Price was still here making comments about Ortiz, the way he styles around the bases, and Archer had some things to say after that home run. Well, earlier this season here at the Trop, David got him on a slider, and this time David running around the bases, nothing at all said by Archer. But the fact is that, you know, this is where it could happen because Ortiz has always had very good success here at Tropicana Field and also against the Rays. You see the career numbers against Tampa Bay, 46 home runs. That's second only to Alex Rodriguez. Here at Tropicana Field, 31 home runs, most by a visiting player. And against Archer, a .350 batting average with 2 home runs and 10 RBIs. So, you know, it all could happen right here at Tropicana Field in the next couple of games.
Should be very exciting. Always is when the Red Sox and Rays get together. We're back here in Tampa Bay at Tropicana Field where they're getting ready for Game 1 right after this. Audi, experience a new Audi A3 today. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Toyota's website for deals by Toyota.com. DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of your Boston Red Sox. The Kia Sorrento. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com. Welcome back to Tropicana Field as we remember 9/11 of 2001. And, of course, the Red Sox were here at Tropicana Field on that very day. As we welcome you back inside Tropicana Field and welcome back inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo. Certainly everybody looking at David Ortiz trying to reach an amazing milestone of 500 home runs. We could see it tonight. We could see it in this series against the Rays as we send it field level to Garen Austin.
Thanks, Don. As you guys mentioned, David Ortiz has 31 career home runs here at the Trop, and that's more than any current Rays player except Evan Longoria. As Ortiz approaches this huge milestone, interim manager Torey Lovullo is in constant communication with Ortiz on how he's feeling and if he could use some time off.
The conversations with David are ongoing. I've tried to maintain a consistent line of communication with him because he is chasing something that's pretty special, and we're all caught up in that moment. Sometimes I need to pull back and not get caught up so much in it. So if we lose David, because we're forcing him to play and he's not wanting to play, we're gonna lose him and he's gonna have no shot at it. So it's a constant line of communication. We have the idea that he's going to play 2 of 3 games here, which 2 we're not sure, but we're going to be smart about this as we move forward with him. And it's all about how he's feeling and where he's at with his body, and he knows his body very, very well.
Well, tonight a pretty good pitching matchup. Wade Miley's 11-10 with a 4.43 ERA. Chris Archer 12-11 with a good ERA of 2.88. We're back to the first pitch from the Trop right after this. Dollar Shave Club. Shave time, shave money. Nissan gets a Nissan. Try to be a life for exciting performance and bonus cash. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. Welcome back inside Tropicana Field. The Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Rays renewing acquaintances tonight. Game 1 of a 3-game series. As the Rays have taken the field, let's check out the visiting Red Sox starting lineup. It's brought to you by your Eastern Hyundai dealers. Now leading it off for the Red Sox in center field is Mookie Betts with Brock Holt at second base. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop bats third with Big Papi David Ortiz, the DH. Travis Shaw at first base with Pablo Sandoval at third base. Rusney Castillo in left with Ryan Hannigan doing the catching, batting eighth. And Jackie Bradley Jr. in right field, bats ninth. Rays starting pitcher presented by your New England Nissan dealers. Chris Archer makes his 30th start of the year. Comes in a game over 500 individually at 12-11. 2.88 earned run average. 228 strikeouts in 187 and a third innings. And opponent sitting at 212 against Archer. Last time out, a loss at New York against the Yankees. Went 6 and a third, giving up 6 hits, 5 runs. 4 were earned and struck out 5 along the way.
The Rays defense is brought to you by DraftKings. They are 13th in the American League with 85 errors on the season. Evan Longoria will be at third base as Drupal Cabrera, the shortstop, Logan Forsythe at second, and Richie Schaefer, the first baseman. Left to right, Mikey Matuk, Kevin Kiermaier, and Steven Souza Jr. Rene Rivera doing the catching for Archer.
Well, the umpiring crew, Ted Barrett's got the plate calling the balls and strikes with Adam Hamari at first base, Angel Hernandez at second base, and Chris Conroy is the umpire at third. Barrett is the crew chief. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Well, the Red Sox and Rays ready to go here tonight from St. Petersburg. As Chris Archer mows the rubber here against Mookie Betts, leading it off. Thought we may see Betts in one of the corner outfield positions, but back in center field tonight, and he takes strike one. We're underway. Archer operating at 94 miles an hour at that pitch. Mookie checking in, hitting at 286, 14 homers, and 70 runs batted in.
Now, John, you gave the number of strikeouts for Archer, 228 in the season. That's the most by any right-handed pitcher in baseball.
He is 11 strikeouts shy of the club record for his season. As this one is fouled back by Betts, who is down 0-2. Ranks third in the major leagues behind Clayton Kershaw and Chris Sale in strikeouts. Kershaw 259, Sale with 247.
And a lot of strikeouts come on that breaking ball, 39%, and those are sliders.
Ready with an 0-2 pitch. And this one fouled off to the right, out of play.
There's a slider right there. Very good job by Mookie Betts to foul it off. Trying to go to the outside part of the plate. Betts able to get out there, cover it, and foul it off. Give himself another pitch to work with.
The 0-2 pitch. And it's elevated for ball one, 1-2. On deck for the Red Sox, Brock Holt batting out of the 2 spot in the order. Holt getting the start at second base. On the ground and diving to the backhand goes Schaefer. He's going to run to the bag, and he's able to beat Betts. Got there just in time to beat him. Had to dive head first to beat the speedy Betts, but he does so.
Now, first time we've seen Richie Schaefer, and what a play. Tremendous play going to his right, diving, and then he's got the speed of Mookie Betts to deal with. He knows that Archer's not going to beat him, so he has to dive, go with his glove, and get the bag, and just gets Mookie Betts at first base. Terrific play by the Tampa Bay first baseman. You can see Betts clearly had Archer beat to the bag. If they go to Archer, they got no chance to get him.
So one down here in the first inning. Nice play, and Betts frustrated. Thought he might have had a base hit out of that. Here comes Brock Holt getting the start at second base. Pedroia with the night off as Holt hits at 279, 2 homers, and 38 runs batted in. Takes a pitch downstairs at 96 miles an hour. On the road, leading Red Sox hitting at 290 is Brock Holt. And a slap it foul off to the left, out of play. You're going to get a lot of strikes when you're dealing with Archer, and Red Sox being fairly aggressive, trying not to get down in the count too often.
Yeah, especially when you're facing a strikeout pitcher, a non-contact guy. I mean, the last thing you want to have happen is get to 2 strikes against a guy that can strike you out in a heartbeat.
A 2.88 ERA, good for 5th in the American League coming into tonight.
Although the Red Sox have had very good success against Archer, he's only 1-6 in his career against Boston, and he's 0-2 this season.
Wants a new baseball. Gets one here from Ted Barrett, the home plate umpire. A 2-1 pitch. And Holt cranks it foul off to the left, out of play.
2 different styles of pitches tonight. Archer, one that takes quite a bit of time between pitches, and of course Miley, as we know, works very, very quickly.
At one point he was looking at about 28 seconds in between pitches.
I think he's improved that a little bit this season.
David Price, also very slow, was once on this staff with Archer at the same time. This one fouled off to the left, and Brock Holt will see his 6th pitch in the at-bat. Archer at home is 3-7 with a 3.06 ERA, compared to on the road away from the Trop. He is 9-4 with a 2.70 ERA. Seemed a lot more run support on the road. There's a grounder towards shortstop as Drupal Cabrera. And there are 2 outs here in the first inning.
That's the slider we were talking about right there. That time induces the ground ball to Drupal Cabrera for the 2nd out of the inning. Breaking ball to Brock Holt, hits on top of it, as you can see right there, and the bounce to the shortstop. They wanted that ball actually a little bit low, but they still got a good result, the second out of the inning.
2 down for Xander Bogaerts, batting out of the 3 spot. Xander checks in at .318. 5 homers and 71 runs batted in. He is 3rd right now in the American League in batting average, behind Miguel Cabrera and Michael Brantley in the AL. Cabrera hitting at .349 for the Tigers. Brantley .319 for the Cleveland Indians. And then Xander Bogaerts at .318. Clanks off the glove of Rivera. Xander so far in September hitting at .364. That's after he hit .324 in August. Post pitch called the ball to Bogaerts. Fifth right now in the major leagues with 166 hits. Most by a shortstop since Edgar Renteria at 175. That was back in 2005. 2-2 to Xander with 2 down here in the top of the first inning. On the ground, a fair ball down that first base line into right field. Bogaerts on at first base with a 2-out single. Red Sox have their first base runner of the night.
Good swinging there by Bogaerts. A couple of strikes on him. He gets the breaking ball, the slider, which is a strikeout pitch, and just feeds it right down that first base line. I watched Bogaerts take batting practice today, and every round of batting practice he was doing that, just hitting ground balls to the right side.
So 2 down with Bogaerts at first and David Ortiz at the plate. Inching closer to 500 after a very good homestand. Sitting at 498 is Big Papi. 269 average. 32 home runs this year. 90 RBIs. And David will take it inside for ball 1 at 95 miles an hour. Shifting on Big Papi on the right side. Ortiz hits it high in the air, foul off to the left, up by the speakers and the catwalks, but it'll land in the seats.
So far, 2 fastballs from Archer. If I'm not mistaken, I think both home runs Ortiz has hit off Archer. One was a changeup, one was a slider. First 2 pitches in this at bat, both fastballs.
We're a .350 hitter against Archer. 2 homers, 10 RBIs for Big Papi. Thought about it. Did he go? Yes. As Chris Conroy, third base umpire. And David finds himself down 1-2. Bogaerts at first base, held on by Schaefer. 2 down here in the first inning. Framed there by Rivera, but it is ball 2.
Has not been an off-speed pitch yet. Every single pitch, all 4 pitches so far, fastballs from Archer. Tries to go away from David this time, up and away, but not a strike.
Two-two pitch. And it's in the dirt. Full count.
There's the slider that time. First time he's featured it in this at bat to Ortiz. And it was away from David. I think he wanted to go down and in with it, but instead it stays outside.
Rivera couldn't locate it right away. Had to take the mask off to find it. It was actually underneath him. Advance at first base for Bogaerts. Xander gets his lead now. Ortiz on the ground and foul just outside of the bag at first. Schaefer over there to grab it in case. So Bogaerts back to the bag at first. Full count here to Big Papi. That's grounded out to first. Holt grounded out to short. A single by Bogaerts. Now payoff pitch to Ortiz. And David hits a fly ball to center field. Kiermaier going back, and it's going to be over his head and one off the wall. Bogaerts trying to score all the way from first base. He will, as David Ortiz into second base with a double puts the Red Sox on top 1-0. A liner out there in a hurry to left center field up over the head of Kiermaier. And the Red Sox jump on top.
Yeah, I don't quite get it from Archer because, you know, he starts them off with all fastballs, and then he goes to 3 sliders in a row. And Ortiz right on that slider that was down. Now, if that's elevated, that ball's a home run. Instead, it's going to be a line drive over Kiermaier's head, and Xander Bogaerts is going to come around the score to give the Red Sox the 1-0 lead. But I don't know. I thought Archie was just going to stay fastballs against Ortiz. He's got such a good one.
Well, 1-0 Red Sox lead. Ortiz at second. Now Travis Shaw, the batter. And an off-balance swing there for Shaw for strike one.
Now that was the changeup, Don. 86 and down.
With the numbers for Shaw coming in at 274 on the year. In the dirt, and it's a ball and a strike now to Shaw. With that double for David Ortiz, tied for 19th most overall with Wade Boggs and Albert Pujols. Of course, Pujols' numbers always changing. Still active as David reaching another milestone. 578 doubles for Big Papi. As Shaw takes ball 2.
And going back to Ortiz for a second, you know, we're talking about the 500 home runs as we should be, but he's also now got 91 runs batted in the season, and he's looking possibly, quite possibly, at another 30, 100-plus home run season.
And for a lot of the season, didn't look like he was going to get there.
No.
He's done a lot of this recently. Shaw will take a pitch for ball 3, 3-1. It's been a very productive second half of the season for Ortiz since the All-Star break and getting back to where he normally is. High for ball 4, and Shaw draws a walk. So all this coming with 2 outs in the inning for Boston. And Rivera out to talk to Archer. 2 on, 2 down, a run in, and Pablo Sandoval will be next.
You look at this Tampa Bay ball club. I mean, they're built on their pitching. Their pitching's very, very good. The offense is just about, well, below average, I would call it. Defense has not been good, but they certainly can pitch.
They have won 2 more games than the Red Sox, as the Rays are 68 and 71 coming into tonight's action. 11 games back of the Blue Jays in the American League East. Sandoval will take strike 1. A high strike call. Sandoval leaving Wednesday's game at home after the 5th inning with mid-back tightness. Fouls it back to the screen. 0-2. Actually missed 3 games earlier this month, the 4th through the 6th with the same injury. Put it back tightness, but day off yesterday, feeling better today, and back in the Red Sox lineup tonight. Batting with Ortiz at second, Shaw at first, and 2 down in the inning.
Where is David Ortiz going? I mean, is he going to be stealing third base?
Not likely. Archer very concerned. Tad inside. Close pitch.
Yeah, the only reason he didn't get that pitch is because the catcher called for a high fastball. You see him standing up. then that ball goes down and in, and that's why that was not called a strike. All in the presentation.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Sandoval strikes out of the high fastball, 97 miles an hour. Ortiz drives in a run, and the Red Sox have a 1-0 lead. The bottom of the first inning, and on the bases we shall not forget on this remembrance of 2011, as the pitcher is in line to right field as Bradley Jr. going back up over his head, and a one off the wall, and to second base goes Brandon Guyer. Has himself a double to begin things in the bottom of the first inning. Let's check out the Rays lineup. It is brought to you by New England Chevy dealers, as Brandon Guyer leads it off. He's a DH with Mikey Matuk in left field. Evan Longoria at third base with Logan Forsythe at second base, as Drupal Cabrera at shortstop. Steven Souza Jr. in right. Richie Schaefer at first base with Kevin Kiermaier in center field batting 8th. And Rene Rivera doing the catching, batting 9th. Leadoff double by Guyer's got good speed. Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your local New England Audi dealers. Wade Miley on the hill, 29 start, 11-10 with a 4.43 earned run average, 129 strikeouts in 168 2/3 innings. In there for a strike to Matuk. Saturday against the Phillies, a win, 9 innings giving up 2 runs. Didn't walk anybody and struck out 8. Second complete game of the year for the Red Sox. Buchholz had the other. Just off the outside edge.
3 pitches in the same spot right there. That last one, a changeup from Miley.
Popped up, foul ground. Racing over is Shaw towards the dugout, and into a slide goes Hannigan, but cannot come up with it right in front of the Rays dugout. Hannigan ended up being the closest.
That's a familiar dugout from Ryan Hannigan. He played here with the Tampa Bay Rays. Nice effort going into the slide, but can't quite come up with it.
Just out of Hannigan's reach. So runner at second, nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. And a liner into center field for a base hit. Geyer being waved around as Betts has a bobble out there in center. Scoring is Geyer, and into second base goes Matuk. And just like that, the Rays tie the score 1-1.
Now Matuk jumps on a fastball to center field, as you see now. You see where Mookie Betts has to go to get this, and then he bobbles it right there. That was on its way up to transfer into the throwing hand. It gets away from him, and that's going to allow the runner, Matuk, to get into second base. So that'll be a base hit RBI and probably an error on Mookie Betts.
Have not ruled on it yet as Evan Longoria stands in on the right side. And swinging to the first pitch, fouls it off to the right, out of play. 273 with 19 homers and 67 runs batted in for Longoria. And it is an error charge to the center fielder Mookie Betts. So a single for Matuk and the error charge to Betts. 1-1 ball game, and Longoria takes the pitch down low, blocked by Hannigan.
Yeah, for Mookie Betts, that's only his third error of the season out there in center field. That's because he was rushing a little bit to make that transfer from the glove to the throwing hand to make sure he could get that ball into second base. Bobbled it. The runner ends up at second base anyway. There it is in the glove for Mookie Betts. He looks at the runner. He knows he may be going, and then all of a sudden out of the big glove comes the baseball.
And Longoria with a big cut there, and it's 2-2. Longoria powering up lately. 5 home runs in his last 9 games. Matching his total from the previous 31 games. Total of 19 home runs on the year for Longoria. Shoots this foul back to the screen. We'll do it again. 2-2. First in RBIs on the team is Longoria with 67 on the year. That's with Matuk at second base. Run in. And nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. On the ground down the third baseline, foul. Retrieved by Sandoval, but a foul ball. Red Sox getting a run on the first, an RBI double for David Ortiz in the first inning. It took with an RBI single here in the bottom of the first inning to tie it up 1-1. Now the 2-2 pitch. And Longoria thought about it, but takes it inside. Did he go? No.
Good pitch, though, by Miley. You know, he had him thinking about pitches away from him, and then he buzzed him inside with the fastball just a little bit off the inside corner.
This one fouled off, hit it twice inside the box. And Ted Barrett will go get a new baseball here for Wade Miley. Logan Forsythe batting out of the cleanup spot, waiting on deck. Arsenal this year for Miley, 57% of the time fastballs, 24% breaking balls, and 19 changeup. (3-2) again to Longoria, and it is lined down the left field line, a fair ball headed towards the left field corner as Matuk comes around to score. Throw to second base. Longoria standing with an RBI double. And just like that, the Rays have taken a 2-1 lead.
Very good hitting by Longoria. Put a long at bat on Miley. Then he gets a changeup that stays down and in and rifles it down into left field for the base hit. He's a little bit out in front, but his hands stay back. And that is the key on the off-speed pitch. You can get fooled, but as long as your hands stay back, you get a chance.
So still nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. 2-1 Tampa Bay, and Logan Forsythe the batter. Gets the arms out of the way, but takes a strike over the inside corner. Forsythe 287, 16 homers and 57 runs batted in. That's 23 games, hitting at .341. Establishing career highs this year in hits with 140, doubles with 29, home runs with 16, RBIs with 57. It's a fly ball well out towards right center field. Mookie Betts going back onto the track to make the catch in front of the wall. Tagging at second is Longoria. He'll take third easily on the long fly ball out.
And the Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They are 11th in the American League with 83 errors on the season. Pablo Sandoval will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Brock Holt at second, and Travis Shaw the first baseman. Left to right, Rusney Castillo, Mookie Betts, and Jackie Bradley Jr. And Ryan Hannigan doing the catching for Miley.
Longoria 90 feet away with one out in the inning. It brings up as Asdrubal Cabrera, the shortstop. 264 with 11 home runs and 46 runs batted in. Fouled off to the right, out of play.
Being very aggressive, aren't they, against Miley here in the first inning?
They're jumping on his first or second pitch. Kevin Cash at the helm. First year as the Rays manager. And they are 68-71 coming into tonight's action.
It's a team also that's last in the American League in runs scored.
You could tell really from spring training on that was going to be a problem here. The way the lineup was constructed here. Outside of Longoria, not a lot jumps out at you in this lineup. It does not have much protection in this lineup as well. A wild card scenario heading into today's action.
No chance.
You don't think it's happening, huh?
Nope.
2-1, a little check swing grounder that Miley will field. He looks to third and gets it to first base in time to get Cabrera.
Good.
3 on the put out there.
Yeah, good heads up play by Miley. I'm not forgetting about that man at third base. He had to go toward the line. He does not panic, does not rush. He checks the man at third base, then goes across the diamond to get the out. There's the little look by Miley, and Longoria, once that's going to hold him at third base.
A pitch outside for Steven Souza Jr. .214, 15 homers and 34 runs batted in. Souza just coming off the DL after missing 34 games with a fractured left hand. Sends it out to center, and that's going to fall for a hit. That's plays on a hop as Longoria scores, and the Rays take a 3-1 lead. Big 2-out RBI single in the return of Steven Souza Jr.
Yeah, I think one thing that Betts was afraid of on that play, because I thought he was going to try to make a play on it, was the ball bouncing over his head. Souza Jr. actually gets jammed a little bit on this pitch. And you see Betts coming in. He thought that ball might bounce over his head, so he kind of pulled up on it.
So 2 down. Souza at first base, held on there as Richie Schaefer stands in, and Throw over to first base by Miley, one hopped. Schaefer at 222, 2 homers, 2 RBIs. And he'll take a strike. 92 miles an hour from Wade Miley. Played now in 15 games, 9 starts since being called up from AAA Durham on September the 1st. Second stint with the Rays this year. He had 28 home runs this year and 429 at bats between the minors and the majors so far this season. Homered for his first career hit back on August 4th at Chicago against the White Sox. In the dirt, Hannigan able to grab it and advance at first base for Souza. Souza at first base, held on over there by Shaw with 2 down here in the inning. That's in there for strike 2. Well, fresh off his complete game last time out. There's a ground ball sharply into third. Sandoval will go to second for the force out there. That will end the inning. But the Rays score 3 times and take a 3-1 lead. We head to the second inning, and Rusney Castillo leading it off and taking strike 1 from Chris Archer. Bottom third of the Red Sox order here in the second inning. Red Sox had a 1-0 lead, but the Rays quickly coming back with 3 of their own. And Castillo, a swing and a miss for strike 2.
I think Castillo will see quite a few of those tonight from Archer, the slider. A lot of pitchers like to throw the breaking ball to Castillo.
And Hannigan waiting on deck. This is the first game Castillo has played at Tropicana Field as he fouls it off to the right out of play.
Just wasting that fastball up high that time. 0-2 pitch, and the fastball is going to be upstairs. Castillo with a very late swing, but fortunate to foul it off. That was the pitch previous on the breaking ball.
There's a 1-2 pitch, and Castillo strikes out.
Don, that's what we're talking about. You know, he sees a lot of breaking balls from right-handed pitching, and he sees one right here. Very good slider that Archer has. He uses it with 2 strikes and picks up the strikeout against Castillo.
Meek Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. So one down here in the second inning. Ryan Hannigan, 269, 2 homers, and 15 runs batted in. Center fielder Kevin Kiermaier over towards right center. Pretty good sized gap in left center field here for Hannigan, the former Ray.
A lot of the base hits that Hannigan has been getting has been to the opposite field recently.
And again with a couple of doubles in Wednesday's win against Toronto. That picks up the outside corner at 95 miles an hour. He was 3 for 3 in the game on Wednesday. 2 doubles, 3 RBIs. Look at his hit direction. Even up now at 2-2. Red Sox season ticket plans are now available for the 2016 season. For information about becoming a Red Sox season ticket holder, call 617-226-6888 or visit redsox.com/season tickets today. Two pitch again. And Hannigan strikes out, picks up the outside corner. Hannigan didn't think so. 3rd K in a row for Archer.
That's that slider again from Archer. This time it's a little bit higher, but I do think it gets part of the outside part of the plate. It was certainly pulled in quite a bit by Rivera, the catcher, but the Amica pitch zone says it just nicked the corner. Try selling that to Hannigan.
There is Jackie Bradley Jr., who backs up on the first pitch, missing low. Just under 300 is Bradley Jr. at 299. 8 homers, 36 runs batted in. Tried to hold up, but goes around. Back-to-back strikeouts here for Archer, 3 in all. And the strike called has Bradley Jr. down 1-2.
Change up that time at 86 miles an hour.
Very high, 2-2. Well, hey, Red Sox Nation, want the inside scoop from Dunkin' Donuts? Follow at Dunkin' Boston on Twitter for tweets about exclusive contests, news, and more happening in and around New England. The Red Sox run on Dunkin'. Two-two pitch. And a swing and a miss. Bradley strikes out, and Archer strikes out the side. 3-1 Tampa Bay. On top of Boston as the Rays come to bat here in the bottom of the second inning. It's 8-9-1 for Tampa Bay. Kevin Kiermaier leading it off. And a ground ball base hit through the left side. It sounded like it was towards the end of the bat. And Kiermaier on to begin things here in the second inning.
That was a cut fastball from Miley, and it sounded like the end of the bat. Sounded like a broken bat. But again, the ball going between third and shortstop for the base hit. I mean, that's not a bad pitch at all by Miley. Away from the left-hander, cut fastball, but the contact made, the base hit by Kiermaier.
Second straight inning that the Rays have had the lead runner on. Brings up Rene Rivera, 180 with 5 homers and 26 runs batted in. Fouled off to the right, out of play for strike one. Rivera struggled the plate, 1 for his last 21. That's a fly ball out to center field. Mookie Betts out there has room. And he makes the catch for the first out. Kiermaier back to the bag at first. But follow the Red Sox for the rest of the season with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet today.
That's a bad. I hope he's trying to be Elvis, but that is a bad Elvis.
Andrew Dice Clay or Elvis?
Yeah, I mean,
tough to tell.
I hope that's not him. I mean,
do you think that's his real hair?
I hope not, because that's an awful rug. Wow.
Low first base, and back is Kiermaier. I think somebody's letting him know.
Well, he's got the glasses. He's got the Elvis glasses. He's got rings. I mean, he must be trying to be Elvis.
Sideburns, the puffy shirt.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just him being him.
That's a bad Elvis. That really is.
One to Geyer, and he'll ground one back to the mound. Miley's going to try for 2. Second for 1. Did they get one? They did. It was on the transfer that he dropped the ball.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that.
Johnny Cash going to come out to argue that. Hernandez, the umpire at second, making the call, saying it was on the transfer.
Let's take another look on replay and see if it is on the transfer. Let's see, is the catch made? Looks like the catch probably was made, yes. And then trying to get it into his throwing hand, he was not able to control the baseball. Catch right there, yeah. And then on the transfer, they dropped the baseball.
Left fielder, Mikey Mato.
Well, Mikey Mato coming up here with a runner at first, 2 down, no challenge from the Rays. Mato with a single to center field and an RBI in the first inning. All part of a 3-run first for Tampa Bay. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Miley does not have a strikeout in this game, nor has he walked anybody.
A few more breaking balls in this inning, especially early in the count, because they've been so aggressive against Miley.
Thought about it, but holds up. Could have been called a strike. And now 1-2 to Matuk. Lead at first for Geyer. He's got good speed. Held on over there by Shaw. Almost got hit. And he did get hit, apparently. Grazed him on the way by.
At first I didn't think it hit him, but it must have just got a piece of the shirt as he was spinning out of the way.
Fourth batter that Miley has hit this year.
Yeah, just barely getting that uniform top.
2 on, 2 down for Evan Longoria. Longoria with a double, an RBI, a run scored in the first inning. And a ground ball foul. Longoria trying to get his 20th home run of the year. Coming in with 1968 RBIs for the third baseman for the Rays. To shortstop, Bogarts will go to second base for the fourth shot that ends the inning. We're through 2 from Tropicana Field, 3-1 Tampa Bay. During the 75 season in their 140th game, Red Sox beat the Brewers 6-3 in game 1 of a doubleheader. Reggie Cleveland went 7 2/3 and got the win for the Red Sox. There's a breaking ball in there for a strike 1 to Mookie Betts. Top of the Red Sox order as Archer goes second time through. Betts grounded out to first base in the first inning, 0 for 1. 50th pitch for Archer is going to miss. Archer got 2 quick outs in the first inning, but then Bogarts with a single, Ortiz an RBI double. He has settled in here, striking out the last 4 Red Sox in a row. And now jumps ahead of Betts, 1-2. DraftKings.com is paying out over $300 million this baseball season. DraftKings has given out $34 million to Boston residents alone since the site launched. Get your free entry into one-day fantasy baseball contest today using promo code NESSON. Sales outside and low, full count. Didn't go. Says Adam Hamari, first base umpire. Betts strikes out looking, and that's 5 strikeouts in a row now for Archer.
Now 4 of the 5 have been on the slider. Only 1 on the fastball. That was the Sandoval. Since then, 4 straight strikeouts on the slider. And that is nasty right there. Down and away for Mookie Betts.
So 1 down here in the 3rd inning, and it brings up Brock Holt. Holt fights it off foul for strike 1. Brock grounding out to the shortstop. As Drupal Cabrera in the 1st inning. He's kind of been wincing a little bit. I noticed in his last at bat, something was not right after he had grounded out. He's kind of grabbing his shoulder area, it appeared. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2, and he seemed to be uncomfortable.
Certainly uncomfortable on that swing. It was a changeup, and that he was fooled by. There's the off-speed pitch, a changeup darting down and away from Brock Holt.
No 2 pitch. Elevated, not chasing at 97 miles an hour. Two pitch. And it's outside, ball 3.
Tried to go back door with that breaking ball, trying to pick up the outside corner and just missed.
Holt takes strike 3. That is 6 straight strikeouts for Archer. 2 down.
He didn't miss with that one. Came back to the breaking ball again, and this time does get the corner against Brock Holt.
Shortstop, Xander Bogaerts.
He loves that slider, doesn't he?
Runs it out there a lot.
Sure does. And for a lot of strikeouts.
Well, 6 strikeouts in the ball game. Then they have come in a row, starting with Sandoval. Now here is Xander Bogaerts, who bats with 2 outs here in the 3rd inning. Rounding it foul outside of 3rd. So he got it off the foot, did Bogaerts. So Sandoval, Castillo, Hannigan, Bradley, Betts, and Holt have all struck out here in this 6th straight by Chris Archer. Swing and a miss. Fastball at 97.
He's loosened up a little bit since the 1st inning. 93, 94 in the 1st inning, 97 now.
Went through a lot of 1st inning pitches, 33 of them. Gave up the 1 run. He is settled in now, trying to make it 7 Ks in a row. And he's got 7 Ks in a row. Unbelievable. Through 2.5, 3-1 Tampa Bay. Here to the bottom of the third inning. Logan Forsythe as Drupal Cabrera and Steven Souza Jr. to bat in the inning. Wade Miley allowing 3 runs in the first inning. Nothing in the second, and now working here in the third. Forsythe flying out to the warning track in center field in the first inning, 0 for 1. Well, he thought he had it, but appeared to be outside. Actually inside. He's given up 5 hits through the first 2 innings. Strike 3 call. This time he gets it. Same spot, too, but this time it's a strike. First strikeout for Miley.
That's what upsets hitters. I mean, one time it's a ball, the next time it's a strike, and with 2 strikes, that's the inconsistency you don't want as a hitter. Certainly Miley loves it. He said it should have been a strike the pitch before.
So 1 down as Drupal Cabrera coming up. He grounded back to the mound in the first inning, 0 for 1. Drupal Cabrera coming up the Cleveland Indians. Now playing shortstop for the Tampa Bay Rays. This here hitting at .264 coming into tonight's action. There's a grounder down third baseline. Long throw for Sandoval, and he gets it there in time. Nice play by Pablo. 2 down. Time now for tonight's Dunkin' Donuts poll question. Should the Rays stay in Tampa Bay? Text 1 for yes, text 2 for no. That's your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. One message per vote. Visit NESN.com/terms for terms and conditions as well as privacy policy.
Well, I like them to stay for 2 reasons. I like coming down here, and I like the hotel.
So, yes.
But other than that, I really don't like this place.
The ballpark itself.
No.
You know, 1 pitch is a check swing, grounded foul. Steven Souza Jr. getting a piece, and it's 0-2.
I'm not so sure either. I just don't know. You know, if they built a new ballpark, if they would draw. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, we thought for years that the reason that they were not drawing was because they didn't have very good teams for a very long time when they were the Devil Rays. But then they became the Rays, and
right.
They've been very, very good since.
And crowds haven't changed.
No, it has not translated into great attendance. A lot of talk about how hard it is to get to this ballpark from different places around this area and where the ideal spot would be. Oh, Jerry, this is big. As the pitch is going to miss up and in. They have just given us DJ Kitty giveaways tonight.
Who?
DJ Kitty.
Who's that?
He's always on the scoreboard. This is huge. Huge.
Yeah, you can have my DJ Kitty.
Awesome.
Yeah.
2-2 pitch. And that's going to miss, but he went around. Bringing him up, Adam Hamari, first base umpire. Second strikeout for Miley, 3-1 Rays. Here's the rundown for a limited time. Sign up for a free checking account with Eastern Bank. Get $100. Just text money to 36698. Message and data rates may apply. Now it's on to the top of the fourth inning. 3-1. Tampa Bay on top of Boston. David Ortiz leading it off. And David will take strike one. David's second at bat of the night. He doubled to drive in the Red Sox run in the first inning. Ortiz fouling it off to the left out of play, and it's 0-2.
It's like the last time, Don, he's starting him out with the hard stuff, the fastballs.
Yeah, last one at 97 miles an hour. Career high 7 consecutive strikeouts, ties the team record. Andy Sonnenstein, former starter for the Rays. Outside 1-2. Sandoval, Castillo, Hannigan, Bradley, Betts, Holt, Bogarts, all down by way of the K and in succession. 1-2 pitch. On the ground right side as into the shift it is Forsythe who throws out Ortiz for the first down of the fourth inning. So one away, and that'll bring up Travis Shaw.
That's interesting. Both times he's attacked David Ortiz has been pretty much the same way. Fastballs early in the count. He starts it with back-to-back fastballs, one for a strike, the other one fouled off. Then he goes to the changeup. Misses down low with the changeup and back to a changeup again to get the ground ball out to second base. No slider in that at bat.
8 in a row now retired by Archer. Breaks up his strikeout string though of 7 in a row. And here is Travis Shaw. And Shaw will take a strike over the outside corner. He walked in the first inning. Only walk given up by Archer so far in the game. Shaw fouls it back. Well, tomorrow ACC football is back on NESN. First, the Houston Cougars take on Louisville's dominant defense at noon. And then tune in to NESN Plus at 3:30 as Tulane visits Georgia Tech. All begins tomorrow at noon on NESN. To find your NESN Plus channel, visit NESN.com/NESN Plus. Swing and a miss. Shaw said he got a piece, and the umpire agrees with him. And wanting him to argue this is Rene Rivera, and out comes Kevin Cash. Thought he got it before it reached the dirt. He's saying his foul ball hit the ground.
Take another look on replay. Awfully tough to tell if there's contact at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the contact.
Yeah, it's a very, very tough call. It's something that the umpire can hear behind home plate that we can't see.
Well, Shaw gets another chance here. 1-2. Very high for ball 2. 2-2. So that fastball's been in the last couple innings. 97 miles an hour for Archer. So retired 8 in a row. And a grounder foul over by the Rays dugout. Pablo Sandoval waiting on deck with one out here in the top of the fourth inning. In there for strike 3. Shaw Newitt takes with him the 8th strikeout for Archer. 2 down.
Now let's look at those 7 straight that Archer had. He gets Sandoval on a fastball. Then he goes to the sliders. Castillo with a slider. Hannigan with a slider. Bradley Jr. with a slider. Betts with a slider. Holt with a slider. And then Bogarts finally with a fastball up and in. So most of his work done with the breaking ball. And that last strike out to Shaw, that's on the fastball on the outside part of the plate.
2 down here in the fourth inning brings up Pablo Sandoval, and Sandoval fouls it back to the screen. 75 pitches now for Archer. Nothing else. That pitch count is rising. Had to throw 33 first inning pitches. Line to center and in for a base hit. Breaks up a string of 9 in a row. Retired by Archer. Sandoval aboard with 2 down here in the 4th inning.
Sandoval did a good job there. That was a pretty good changeup by Archer. Even though it was down the middle of the plate, it was down in the strike zone. And Sandoval goes right down with it to line it into center field for the base hit. I mean, he's one guy that can hit off balance. There's no question about that. We've seen that all season long. Off balance swing that time, but the line drive.
So 2 down, Sandoval at first base, and it brings up Rusney Castillo. There's a foul off to the right, out of play. Schaefer holding on, Sandoval at first base. Outside, and Rivera able to grab it. Mask comes off. He had to reach so far across.
Yeah, I'm going to take a guess here, Don. I'm going to really stick my neck out. I don't think Sandoval is going. You see the size lead he's got at first base?
I don't think he's going anywhere.
I don't think he's going to go. I just have that gut feeling. Call it baseball instincts, but look at that lead.
He's going to need a really good jump if he is. I mean, like really good.
Like start now.
Well, first game ever for Rusney here at Tropicana Field. Struck out in the 2nd, down 1-2 here in the 4th inning.
Back to the slider.
And it's on the ground towards short. Cabrera will flip to second base for the force out. That ends the inning. 3.5 done, 3-1 Tampa Bay. Customer service that puts you first. Eastern Bank is here to make your banking and your day easier. See how at easternbank.com. Here, your first Eastern Bank. 3-1 Tampa Bay on top of Boston. Wade Miley back on the mound for the bottom of the 4th inning. It is the bottom third of the Rays order. Richie Schaefer, Kevin Kiermaier, and Rene Rivera. Schaefer grounding into a fielder's choice in the first inning. On the ground to shortstop. Bogaerts has got it. Low throw, but Shaw on a pretty good stretch there, able to get Schaefer for the first out of the inning. 5 in a row now retired by Miley. For every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 commitment once again this season. CVS Pharmacy, the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. 1 out in the 4th inning for Kevin Kiermaier. Single to left field in the 2nd inning. Always a threat to lay down a bunt, and Sandoval in on the artificial surface at third base.
I like the way Kiermaier plays the game. I mean, he's all out, all hustle all the time.
Now 7-game hitting streak, now hitting at .320 during that time. One is fouled off to the left, out of play. Back into the seats.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, Don, if you're an outfielder, you've really got to be careful because he's always looking to take that extra base on a base hit. So you've got to get there very quickly and get that ball in quickly. He'll take advantage of it.
Little pop up towards short. Xander Bogaerts is there to make the catch for the 2nd out. Well, tomorrow morning on Dining Playbook, find the best spots to go before, during, and after a Red Sox game. Plus, watch as a correspondent goes undercover at another baseball stadium to test the food. Join Billy Costa and Jenny Johnson on Dining Playbook tomorrow at 9. 2 down here in the 4th inning brings up Rene Rivera. And a ground ball left side, picked by Sandoval. Plants and throws where the catcher running has a chance to get him. And it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 in a row retired by Miley.
Lineup tonight. Interim manager Torey Lovullo said there was a soft template for him with his return to play. Lovullo said they wanted Pedroia to get used to the turf tonight, and the plan is for him to play tomorrow and potentially the next day. Guys, I talked to Pedroia earlier, and he said he feels great, and it's just really good to be back with the guys.
All right, thanks very much, Gary. Well, Jerry, here you have the dirt infield, which is I don't know how much that plays into it as an infielder as far as the turf goes. I mean, you still have to run out onto it and run on it, but there is the dirt infield here.
Yeah, I agree. And they're always cautious when they come down here with certain players, and especially a guy that's coming off a hamstring injury. I don't know what the surface is like under that dirt. You know what I mean? It's still probably pretty hard. Anyway, Pedroia getting tonight off. I talked to him this afternoon. He said he felt fine. There's no problems. Just, as Garen said, just giving him a day to get used to the turf and be out there tomorrow.
One pitch is fouled off down the right field line, out of play.
Yeah, I think, Don, it's 9-11, obviously. And boy, who can forget the way we were on 9/11, 2001, and we were right here in Tampa Bay. It was remarkable. We were in New York. We got rained out of a game against the Yankees, and then eventually made our way to the airport. It had cleared by that time. It was just an absolutely beautiful night, a fall night in New York, and we got in here very, very late early in the morning. Went to bed. Woke up somewhere between 9 and 10 and called down for my bags. And when the bellman got to the room with the bags, he said, "Are you watching TV?" And I said, "No." He says, "We're under attack." I said, I didn't know if he was St. Petersburg. I had no idea what he was talking about. And of course, we flipped the TV on and watched all that disaster. And it was, you never forget where you were.
No, that's certainly, everyone will remember where they were that day, that morning.
Boy, very strange coming from New York that night.
Yeah. The White Sox had just arrived after the Red Sox had left, and of course we spent the better part of the next week here in St. Pete, because obviously nobody was flying anywhere.
No flying, and we actually took a train.
Yep.
From here to, I believe, Baltimore?
Virginia. We ended up busing from Virginia to Baltimore. We had to bus from here to Sanford, Florida first.
Right.
Outside of Orlando, and then we went on the auto train back to Virginia. This is knocked down by Archer. He's going to find it. He does, and fires to first in time. Nice play. Stayed with it. And is able to get Ryan Hannigan.
Well, Archer did panic a little because he couldn't find the baseball, but once he did, he was able to regroup and make that play at first base. He knocks it down and then finally sees it, makes the throw to first base, and just gets Hannigan. But panic did set in there for a second for Archer, but he was able to regroup and get the out. That was a very, very difficult time, and you mentioned we traveled home on the train, and we took a bus, and we took a plane, and then another bus, and I didn't realize it wasn't a week. It was a week that we were down here.
Yeah, the question at the time was, should baseball go on at that time, and how long should baseball stay off? And
right,
it kind of provided somewhat of a distraction. No one will ever forget, but at least gave some people some entertainment value, and baseball did come back, and so hard for so long. But yeah, it was, you always remember that. I always remember Tampa Bay for that reason. Where we were when it happened.
Yeah,
I think everybody will have that same experience wherever they were on that Tuesday morning. 2-0 to Bradley, and it is popped up foul off to the left, out of play.
Even more so than Tampa Bay, I get that eerie feeling of leaving New York that night. And I remember, after that rain and how it cleared up such a beautiful night in New York. And it had that fallish kind of feel to it. We left very late because of the rain delay, and the next day, of course, we all know what happened.
Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Popped up around the bag at second. It is Asdrubal Cabrera, the shortstop, is actually on the right side of the infield now and handles out number 2. So Archer, after giving up a run in the first inning, has really settled into this outing. Has 2 down now in the 5th.
And he's basically shut the Red Sox down, with the exception of the Sandoval base hit on a changeup in the 4th inning.
Struck out 8 out of 9 batters at one point. And 7 in a row as he has the first 2 outs here of the 5th. Here's Mookie Betts for the 3rd time tonight. Betts grounded out to first base in the 1st inning, struck out in the 3rd. Little check swing foul, and now Mookie finds himself down 0-2. "33 pitches in the 1st inning cost Archer. He's up to 93 here with 2 outs in the 5th. Elevates, and Betts does not chase. 1-2. Jim Hickey, the pitching coach for Tampa Bay. Strikeout high in the season is 15. Did that against the Angels earlier this year. There's a check swing foul back to the screen. Eight innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 15 strikeouts in that outing against LA. Back on June the 2nd. As it stands tonight, he's got 8 through 4 2/3 innings. One-two pitch to Mookie Betts. Now back to the screen again. 98 that time. Archer reaching back for a little extra.
Has struck Mookie out on a slider last time, so this time he's going to the fastball with 2 strikes against Betts. And Mookie able to just foul out one off. See if he goes back to the breaking ball. Yep.
Not tantalizing enough. 2-2.
Ball was never in the strike zone there. Started it outside, just continued to go away.
Now Mookie will see an 8th pitch. And again grounded back to the mound. Jackie Bradley Jr. popped out to short. 2 down in the inning. 3-2 pitch. Now bounce in for ball 4, and Archer frustrated with himself. That is the 2nd walk given up by Archer, first since the 1st inning. So the Red Sox with a 2-out base runner, and that'll bring up Brock Holt. First Rivera out to talk to Archer. Don't miss the excitement of the Bruins and Celtics this season. Single game suites are now on sale. It's an ideal way for groups of 18 to 60 fans to enjoy a game. For additional info, visit tdgarden.com/suite rentals or call the number on your screen. Jim Hickey about to get on the phone. Nobody warming yet in the pen, but there will be, as Brock Holt will take a strike over the outside corner. Brock 0 for 2 tonight. He is grounded out to shortstop and struck out looking. Holt reaches out and pokes it foul off to the left. 0-2. The Rays have action in the pen. Enny Romero starting to warm up. Fly ball out towards left center field. Matuk and Kiermaier, and it's Matuk who makes the catch. Almost ran into Kiermaier out there, but he makes the grab. An amazing one at that. See if Kiermaier's all right. He's back on the warning track and at the wall. He is. What a catch out there. Matuk making that catch and ending the inning. Three to 1 Tampa Bay on top of Boston as we get ready for the bottom of the fifth inning. Top of the order, Brandon Guyer leading it off here for Tampa Bay. Pitch in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. He doubled in the first inning and scored, reached on a fielder's choice in the second. Center field, and Betts out there waiting for the first out here at the bottom of the fifth inning.
Don, I'm glad you saw it because I didn't. I thought the ball dropped in, and what a terrific play there by Matuk. Took it right away from Kiermaier. That could have been a real bad collision right there, and of course Archer loves it.
8 in a row now retired by Miley. And it brings up Matuk, who made that catch out there in left field. Looked like for a moment they were going to collide because Kiermaier can run pretty well.
Yeah, I didn't see him catch it. I thought the ball dropped in.
Now Romero has now been joined by Brandon Gomes in the pen. Double-barreled action now for Tampa Bay. Archer at 102 through 5 innings. Tap foul at the plate, and it's 2-2. Chris Archer's pitching line brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 8 Ks. Had 7 strikeouts in a row at one point, and one coming back in the first inning. This is a hot shot, and it's picked by Miley. Nice catch on a liner right back at him. He reels it in, 2 down.
And we've seen it all year long. Miley's a very good defender of back on the pitcher's mound for the Red Sox. He makes a lot of good plays. And this line shot right back to his glove. See Miley right there getting in position, falling off a little bit toward third base, and that ball really finding the glove. Nice play by Miley.
Evan Longoria doubled in the first inning, reached on a fielder's choice in the second. Another strike over the outside corner, getting credit for that outside corner. Logan Forsythe on deck for the Rays. They bat here in the bottom of the fifth. And jumping out of the way of that pitch, Longoria, as it bounces in. H.B. Hood salutes the Red Sox Foundation's commitment to 4,900 accredited charities throughout New England. Two pitches down the right field line, foul ground. Bradley over towards the bullpen, and he makes the catch on the bullpen mound, collects himself and holds on to the baseball. Nicely done by Jackie Bradley Jr. All kinds of stuff over there. Nice concentration and a good catch to end the inning. Time for tonight's Swiss of the True Fact. According to the Elias Sports Bureau, David Ortiz has 12 extra base hits in his last 12 games, 6 doubles, 6 home runs, ties his career high over any 12-game span. Twisted Tea is the hard iced tea, tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted. Now Archer back out there, over 100 pitches, and deep to short. Cabrera will just sort of send it towards first base, but no chance to get Xander Bogaerts with the infield hit to get things started here in the 6th inning.
Looked like a lob pass to a wide receiver, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
I tell you, Don, sometimes you make these plays and you just can't help but throw the baseball. He got no chance. And he had no chance.
I would think only bad things can happen when you do this.
You're exactly right, but you can't help yourself. you went so far to get the ball, you want to throw it.
Just can't hold on to it, huh?
Nope.
Well, lead runner on here for the Red Sox. Here's David Ortiz. He doubled in the first, grounded out to second in the 4th inning. And he takes ball 1. High for ball 2, 2-0. Outfield deep end straight away on Big Papi. Shifting in the infield. They keep it close to the infield with the double play possibilities as Archer steps off. On the outside corner, and David didn't like it. 2-1.
Yeah, no fastball for Ortiz there on the 2-0 count. He gets a changeup, and the changeup appeared to be away, but called a strike.
Now it's 3-1. David in a good spot here. Travis Shaw waiting on deck. Red Sox batting here in the top half of the 6th inning. Trailing by 2. Ortiz will flip this out to right center field, and it'll fall in for a hit. Heading for third is Bogarts. Throw will go in that direction, but Xander gets there. Standing, David Ortiz with his second hit of the game, and it's 1st and 3rd with nobody out.
That was a changeup that time, too, that Ortiz hit. Maybe the slider. Let's take another look at it. I believe it might have been the slider. Yeah, it certainly was. And it got inside on David Ortiz, so he couldn't get his arms extended. But he's able to drop it in for the base hit, so the Red Sox get something going here in the 6th inning.
So they're at the corners with nobody out, and that is the night for Archer. A pitching change here from St. Petersburg, Florida. Rays on top 3-1. Three to 1 Tampa Bay on top of Boston as the pitching change here for the Rays in the 6th inning. Andy Romero into the game here for Tampa Bay as this call to the bullpen is brought to you by Kia. Comes in with 1st and 3rd, and Travis Shaw the batter, and Shaw will take the strike over the outside corner.
And he's really got a good fastball. 98, 99. He touched 99 in the last outing against the Yankees.
Takes over for Archer, went 5+, responsible for the 2 men on as Shaw takes the pitch outside. There's 98 right there.
And he started him with a slide at the first pitch and went to back-to-back fastballs.
2 stints now in the major leagues for Romero. 8 appearances with a 0.87 earned run average. Is 2-1. Is popped up by the catwalks and towards the seats and behind the Rays dugout. No chance there for Schaefer or Rivera, who had both run over. So another chance for Shaw. Shaw, the walk in the first, struck out looking in the fourth inning. Romero recalled from AAA. Durham Bulls back on August the 20th. There's a liner to right field and a fair ball headed towards the corner for Shaw. Bogarts will score from third base. David Ortiz heading for third and maybe beyond. No, he'll be stopped there as he gets back in, and now it's second and third in a one-run game. Well, Shaw with a double, and that run's charged to Archer.
Now, some things are hard to explain. When you throw 99 and then you make a bad pitch like that on a breaking ball, it just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I know they wanted to go away with that, but he leaves that breaking ball inside, and that's a perfect pitch for Shaw to hit. He's all geared up for that fastball at 98, 99. All of a sudden, here comes a flat slider on the inside part of the plate, and he jumps all over it. There's the location of the pitch. Bad pitch, stayed inside. That's exactly where a left-hander wants that breaking ball from a left-handed pitcher. Ortiz coming around third base was being waved on, then stopped by Brian Butterfield, the third base coach.
Oh, Dave was running pretty good there.
Yeah, you wave them so they run hard, then you make a decision to either send them or stop them.
We saw him run a few times on the homestand. He wasn't running that well.
No, he was not.
So second and third, nobody out. Pablo Sandoval, the batter, and he'll take a look at strike one. Back to the gas for Romero. Now Sandoval sends it the other way, foul, and is down 0-2. He struck out and singled to center field. Rusney Castillo waiting on deck. There's a ground ball to deep short. Cabrera's got it. Throws to first off the mark, and the run will score. David Ortiz in from third to tie the game as Sandoval reaches at first base. And it's 3-3. The run's charged to Archer.
Good job by Sandoval. I mean, he gets the fastball that time at 98. He just slaps it to the opposite field, just trying to make contact. And when you make contact, something good might happen. That time it did for Pablo.
Yeah, Kevin Cash out of the dugout here. Romero faced two batters and will have a pitching change.
Took that fastball away and just slapped it in the hole. He attempted a shortstop by Cabrera, but no chance at first base, and that's going to be it for him tonight.
3-3 the score. The pitching change from the Trop. Back in St. Pete, game tied 3-3. Runners at first and second with nobody out, and Rusney Castillo with strike one. As the Rays move on to their third pitcher of the game, Brandon Gomes into his 53rd game, 2-5 with a 3.51 earned run average, 51 in a third innings, 40 strikeouts, 13 walks, and opponents hitting at 231. So Romero ends up facing two batters, did not get anybody out, and responsible for the two men on. To center field. Kiermaier back there to make the catch. Tagging at second base is Travis Shaw. Heading for third. He'll get there without a problem. Now one down in the inning, and it's first and third for Boston.
If there is a such thing as a good out, that's one by Castillo. Getting that ball deep enough to center field to get that man at third base with less than two outs. And certainly his teammates appreciate that. Solid hot contact by Castillo. And Kiermaier has no chance to get Shaw at third base. Just getting in a second to keep the double play in order.
First and third with one out. And Ryan Hannigan coming up. And again, 0 for 2. He struck out looking in the second inning. Grounded back to the mound in the fifth. And again, will take the strike. Gomes with a 1.13 earned run average in his last 15 appearances. 13 of the last 15 have been scoreless for Gomes. Out of Hannigan here, 0-1. Hannigan to center field. Kiermaier out there will make the catch. Tagging at third base is Shaw. Throw is going to be off the mark and cut off, and the Red Sox take a 4-3 lead. Sacrifice fly for Ryan Hannigan, and the Red Sox are on top.
Good situational hitting there. You know, you get the long fly ball from Castillo to get Shaw to third base. Hannigan gets a pitch he's looking for, something that he can lift in the air. He gets the breaking ball from Gomes, something he can put in the air, and he does deep enough to get the run home. And that quickly the Red Sox have the 4-3 lead.
So it's been a 3-run sixth inning. 2 of the runs charged to Archer, 1 so far to Romero. Still responsible for Sandoval at first base. And here's Jackie Bradley Jr. Bradley 0 for 2 in the game. Struck out swinging in the second. Popped out to shortstop in the fifth. Ryan Hannigan drives in a run. The Red Sox record 10-0. And Hannigan's got himself an RBI in the sac fly in this inning. There's a ground ball right side. Ranging is Cabrera. His throw to first base with the shift on in time to end the inning. And the Red Sox scored 3 times and take a 4-3 lead. Hits 3 runs, no walks, 2 Ks. He's pitched 75 on the night, and it's in there for strike 1. He's got a lead now, and he's retired the last 10 in a row. Logan Forsythe leading it off here in the bottom of the 6th inning for Tampa Bay. And as this inning begins, some stirring going on down in the Red Sox pen. Logan Forsythe 0 for 2. Flat out to the warning track and struck out looking. Fouled off to the right, out of play. More action for the Rays in their pen. Right-hander is up, Steve Geltz. So far, nobody warming in the Red Sox pen. Just some stretching going on down there. Zawa getting in some work also. A little bit of running going on. 1-2. In there for strike 3. As Forsythe got the arms out of the way, but strikeout number 3 for Miley as we check in with Garrett.
Thanks, Don. To commemorate the anniversary of September 11th, 2001, the Red Sox and all other major league teams are wearing an American flag on the side of their caps. There was a moment of silence here tonight at the Trop, and back at Fenway Park, the Red Sox hosted the 14th annual Day of Remembrance blood drive that started back in 2002. Don.
All right, Garrett, thank you very much. The Red Sox have done great work in that regard over the years in the blood drive back at Fenway Park, as has Major League Baseball. As Drupal Cabrera bats with 1 out here in the 6th inning. Cabrera 0 for 2. He's got it back to the mound, grounded out to third base. Stretch right now for Miley of 11 in a row as he has settled into this outing. He had a rocky first inning, giving up 3 runs to the Rays in the first on 29 pitches. They have not scored since, and had only 1 hit since.
Now, what Miley's done in this game is he adjusted very quickly, because in the first inning they were very aggressive off him. So he got away from a lot of fastballs early in the count, went to breaking balls, changeups, and that's made a difference.
It is 2-1. He is in tight. 3 balls and a strike to Cabrera. Steven Souza Jr. waiting on deck for the Rays. They bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Fouled off to the right, and it's a full count. To center field and falling fast in for a base hit. As Drupal Cabrera's got himself a 1-out single. First time he's been aboard. It's time for a game break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Tom? All right, thanks very much, Tom. Well, for Severino, a big start there as a pickoff bid at first base by Miley, but back to the bag is Drupal Cabrera. Jays starting the day with a 1.5 game lead over the New York Yankees. There's a ground ball left side. Bogarts will go to second for 1. On to first. It is not going to be in time. They do get the lead runner in Cabrera for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, the ball was not really hit all that hard by Souza Jr., and he's able to beat it at first base. He actually runs pretty good for a big guy. Holt had to go back off the bag towards center field, and that may have been the difference. Had he been able to come across the bag, he may have the double play, but the throw took him behind the bag, and that's the difference at first base.
So 2 down, Souza at first base, and it brings up Richie Schaefer, his third at bat. It's grounded into a fielder's choice, grounded out to shortstop. Takes the strike. In the dirt, blocked by Hannigan. No advance for Souza at first base.
Back-to-back off-speed pitches, the curveball followed by the changeup. Changeup on the last pitch. Nice job by Hannigan to block it. Keep that runner at first base and out of scoring position.
Mention the power for Schaefer. 28 home runs this year between the minors and the majors. A little bit low, and it's 2-1. First hit in the big leagues was a home run back on August 4th at Chicago against the White Sox. 8th Ray all time to do that. Forsythe struck out. Cabrera singled, but was forced out at second base as Souza reached on the fielder's choice. Pitch 90 from Miley. 3-1. Kevin Kiermaier waiting on deck. Mookie Betts over towards left center. Gap out there in right center. And a swing and a miss. Full count. Big swing there by Schaefer.
Yeah, big swing on a changeup. No fastball for him on the 3-1 count. That's something, you know, in the minor leagues you don't see very often. Generally, you'll see a fastball in that situation, not at the big league level.
Swing and a miss, and Miley strikes out Schaefer to end the 6th inning. It's on to the 7th, 4-3 Boston. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. St. Petersburg, Florida, outside Tropicana Field as the Red Sox have a 4-3 lead as we head to the top of the 7th inning. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Since August the 11th, 1 month ago today, Top 3 AL batters by total bases are Red Sox. Jackie Bradley Jr. was 72. David Ortiz was 68. And Mookie Betts was 67. And Betts leading it off here in the 7th inning. Facing the new pitcher, Steve Geltz, into the game.
Something we haven't seen very often, a shift put on Mookie Betts.
Yeah, on the left side of the infield. This one fouled off to the right out of play, and Betts down 0-2.
Now they'll go out of the shift with the 2 strikes on Betts because you get a more defensive swing generally with 2 strikes.
Gelt's 4th pitcher used by Kevin Cash. Enny Romero right now on the hook in this game. The Red Sox on top 4-3. Starter Chris Archer went 5+, giving up 5 hits, 3 runs. He walked 2, struck out 8. Not part of the decision. He left with a 3-1 lead. But 2 inherited runners scored. There's a line drive, base hit into center field for Mookie Betts. On to begin things here in the 7th inning.
Well, the Red Sox now have a bunch of options. They got the 4-3 lead. They got a stolen base speed at first base. They've got a contact man at the plate who can play hit and run. So a lot of options here for Torey Lovullo. See if the bunt is an option also, but I'd go to something different. Split fingered fastball that time to Betts, and he takes it into center field for the base hit. The leadoff hit here in the 7th.
Lead runner on, and Brock Holt now standing in. 0-for-3 in the ball game, grounding out to short, striking out looking, and flying out to the warning track in left field. And he tries the bunt back towards the mound. Geltz will go to first, and the sacrifice complete. So up to second base goes Betts. 1-3 on the sacrifice that time.
As I said, they'll probably be sacrificing in this situation. Multiple options. And they picked number 3 in my book. The sacrifice bunt.
You don't like giving up the out.
I don't like giving up the out. You got something going. You know, you got your big guys coming up. I just don't like giving them an out.
Well, Xander Bogaerts coming up here with 1 out, a runner at second base. Got the feeling all night something has been wrong with Brock Holt.
Yeah, right shoulder it looks like.
They've been trying to stretch it out different times on the night, and Brad Pearson there alongside the trainer.
You know, that might explain the bunt too. Maybe he's having problems swinging the bat because of the shoulder.
There's the 1-0 to Xander Bogaerts. Ball on a strike. .65 appearances now for Geltz. Tied for second in the American League in appearances. Kevin Jepsen of the Minnesota Twins leading in that category, 66 appearances. Last rookie to lead the American League in appearances was the White Sox Kelly Wunsch back in 2000. He appeared in 83 games that year. 1-1. And a pitch outside for ball 2. Inning started with a single to center by Mookie Betts, a sacrifice bunt by Brock Holt. Getting Betts to second base, and now a chance for Xander Bogaerts to give the Red Sox some insurance. A hit by Betts extends his hitting streak to 16 games now as Geltz spins off the backside. Good look from atop the Trop. Flared foul off to the right, and it'll even the count at 2-2. Arm just looks uncomfortable, that right shoulder, no doubt.
Yeah, no question something's bothering Holt, and looks like he's taking his way up to the clubhouse now.
Bogaerts fouls off another fastball at 93. That's what Geltz has been operating at. Well, the Red Sox family 4-packs are back through this special package. Fans will get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas for $75. This great deal is even available for Fred Lynn bobblehead night on September 22nd. Tickets are available at redsox.com. Family 4-packs. David Ortiz waiting on deck with 1 down here in the 7th inning. 2-2 pitch. We'll have to wait. Geltz going off the backside, no throw. Fouled off again to the right. You'll see his 7th pitch. Foul back to the screen, still 2-2. Good battle here between Steve Geltz and Xander Bogaerts in the 7th inning. Red Sox trailed 3-1, but now on top 4-3 as they bat here in the 7th. Another foul off to the right, out of play. Well, Tuesday on the Red Sox Report, go behind the scenes and relive Pedro Martinez's memorable week of his Hall of Fame enshrinement in Cooperstown to his number retirement celebration at Fenway. Catch it all Tuesday at 5 on the Red Sox Report. The 2-2 pitch is popped up foul off to the right, out of play. Long battle here, and the catcher Rivera going out to talk to Geltz.
Now the combination of the battle put on by Bogaerts and Geltz's attention to Betts at second base. It's been a very long at bat.
Get immediate care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, first aid station behind Section 12 on the lower concourse. BIDMC is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. Under its second, 1 out. Pitch 10 of the at bat coming up here for Bogaerts. And Xander fouls it off again to the right. Geltz cannot put him away. Outside for ball 3. See a 12th pitch now. Xander pops it up. Right side, Forsythe on the artificial surface in short right field. Handles out number 2. And a long battle that Geltz ends up winning in the end.
Now let's see now if they walk Ortiz with first base open and 2 outs in the inning and take their chances with Shaw. Looks like they got him.
Not going to let Tatum beat him here, as Ortiz will be intentionally walked. The first and second with 2 down, and Shaw waits on deck. Action for the Rays. C.J. Riefenhauser up in the pen. Well, the walk complete to David Ortiz. First and second with 2 down. Tonight after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, Jermaine Wiggins will join Gary Streisky and Lisa Hillary to break down the Patriots' opening night win against the Steelers. NESN Sports Today is presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do.
Is that the thing you got?
Yeah, DJ Kitty.
What is he?
DJ Kitty. He's the DJ, the cat that they have on the big screen here as you get in the late innings. You don't remember this?
No.
DJ Kitty?
No, I don't. I don't particularly care for DJ Kitty because it's more noise in this place.
Yeah.
There's more noise that comes from this place than it comes from the fans.
That is DJ Kitty. And they got DJ Fresh handling the mixes tonight, so DJ Kitty has the night off apparently, but he'll be on later on the scoreboard. He'll be popping up.
I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Angels rally monkey. It's DJ Kitty. Two outs, runners at first and second, and Travis Shaw the batter. He'll take strike 1. Shaw walked in the first inning, struck out in the 4th, doubled to drive in a run in the 6th inning. Shaw doubling his last time up to drive in a run, his 21st RBI. That's at second. Ortiz at first with 2 down. And a foul back to our left. Pablo Sandoval waiting on deck, batting out of the 6th spot tonight for Boston. One, two. A foul back again below us. Stay tuned for Red Sox Final presented by Uno's. TC and Jim Rice will have an update on the Yankees Blue Jays series. They battle for the American League East title. Pitch 26 for Geltz of the inning. And Shaw wraps it foul down towards the bullpen. Single by Betts to begin the inning. The sacrifice bunt by Brock Holt. Bogarts popped out. They intentionally walked David Ortiz. 2 on, 2 down. And Travis Shaw down on the count. 1-2. Shaw strikes out. High fastball gets him, and that ends the top of the 7th inning. As the Red Sox are holding on to a 4-3 advantage. We'll keep it right here in St. Pete for God Bless America tonight, as we remember September 11th of 2001.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, at this time
ask that you please rise, remove your caps, and join Master Sergeant Brad Clark as he performs God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with your light from above. From the mountains and the prairies and the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
By Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Your local Subaru dealers. And by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Thank you, New England, for 60 great years. 4-3, Red Sox have the lead over Tampa Bay, and Wade Miley's back on the mound. New second baseman as Josh Rutledge is now in the game. Upper back spasm, the reason that Brock Holt came out of this game. Kevin Kiermaier with a wild swing on a pitch down and away. He was on the move. Unable to catch up to that or reach that anyway. Kiermaier, Rivera, and Geyer scheduled to bat in the inning. Pitched 95 for Miley, and it runs in. Only tough inning for Miley, the first, giving up 3 runs through 29 pitches. Since then has allowed only 2 hits, working here into the 7th inning. More action for the Rays. A lot of new names down there. Andrew Bellotti now up in the pen. Ground ball down the first baseline, a foul ball. Retrieved by Shaw and Case. And a full count down to Kiermaier.
The Rays called up a lot of people. If my scorecard's correct, they've got 11 extra guys on the bench, position players.
Wow.
11.
Another grounder foul.
See Daniel Navar in the dugout there for the Rays.
There's a liner the other way and in for a hit. Castillo cuts it off, spinning and trying for two. A little stumble. Is Kiermaier's going to cost him? No, he still gets in safely. Kiermaier stumbled between first and second, almost toppled over, but he gets to second base.
And we talked about Kiermaier early in the ball game that anytime anything's hit to the outfield, you got to anticipate this guy's going to try for two. That's exactly what he does here. He takes that breaking ball from Miley. It's a good play by Castillo. The short hop comes in, and there's Kiermaier into second base. I mean, he hustles all the way. There's a little slip, and even with the slip, he gets in safely.
We're going to have a pinch hitter, JP Arancibia, the former Toronto Blue Jay, going to pinch hit. Or Rene Rivera, who had been 0 for 2 in the ball game. 375, 4 homers, 11 runs batted in for Arancibia. Wait to see if Torre's going to challenge this or not on the play at second base.
I think they're going to appeal at first base, Don. It looks like they might appeal at first base. See Shaw standing on the bag over there?
Yep. Well, Carl Willis, pitching coach, coming out. And it looks like Torre's going to get somebody up. Nobody warming up yet in the pen.
Let's see if he gets first base or misses it. Nah, he got it. He slid right into it. That's what really threw off his balance.
Well, don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC and Jim Rice will break down tonight's game. You'll hear from Wade Miley. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but WB Mason? Double-barreled action now for Tampa Bay. Galati being joined by Alex Colomé. They have 11 relievers in the pen.
There's that attempted miss of first base that they appeal, and apparently everything's okay as far as the Rays go.
Arancibia taking strike one. Borderline call there that Miley gets. Next pitch will be the 100th of the night for Wade Miley, working here in the 7th inning. In the dirt, gets away from Hannigan, and to third base goes Kiermaier. He'll round it, in fact. So at third with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
It's something you very rarely see, and that's Hannigan trying to backhand a ball in the dirt. Most of the time he tries to just block that ball. Instead he tried to catch that one by backhanding it, and it gets by him. Kiermaier moves up a bag. So now the infield pulled in.
Swing and a miss. Action in the Red Sox pen. Gene Machi starting to warm up. Not to the mound yet, doing some long toss. Now he's going to go up on the top of the hill. Infield in here for Boston with nobody out. Kiermaier taking third on the wild pitch. Arancibia, the swing and a miss, and Miley strikes him out. 5 Ks from Miley. Needed that. First out of the inning.
Now the infield remain in with Gaia coming to the plate, and be aware of the contact play now, because Kiermaier has very good speed at third base, and they may just try it on contact to an infielder.
One down, Kiermaier 90 feet away, and Brandon Guyer the batter. 1 for 3 in the ball game. One part a double back in the first inning. Bouncing in, blocked by Hannigan that time.
No backhand that time by Hannigan. Goes right down and blocks it and actually catches it. The last time tried to backhand the ball and got by him. Not that time. Covers up the 5-hole, makes the play.
On the ground, and Sandoval's coming home with it. Contact was on, and the tag applied for the out. A huge out at the plate.
Al, I think everybody in the ballpark expected that with Kiermaier's speed. Contact as soon as the ball as soon as he reads it go to the ground, he takes off. Sandoval, very good. Did not rush things. Knew he had a good opportunity at home plate. Makes a good throw, and Hannigan just waiting there to make the tag. Big play for the Red Sox.
So 2 down in the inning with Geyer at first, and Kevin Cash standing outside the dugout. I don't know what he would be challenging here. No challenge from Cash.
What would that be all about?
I couldn't imagine.
The only thing I can think of was Hannigan in the baseline. I don't know. It didn't appear to me that he was blocking the plate.
Throw to first base, and back is Geyer. Nope, ball's there, and he's not blocking anything.
Yeah, there's nothing to replay there.
Took will take the strike. He has single to center, hit by a pitch, and last time up lined out to Miley. Made a nice catch. Single that he hit back in the first inning was an RBI single. Miley trying to work his way through the 7th inning. Work his way around what was a leadoff double and a wild pitch. It got Kiermaier to third, but they've erased him at the plate. Throw to first, and back to the bag is Geyer.
That was absolutely not Miley's best move.
To left center field, Castillo on the run will get there. Looked like it could be a gapper off the bat, but it is not. Red Sox holding on to a 4-3 lead. Let's check out the box score. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Tropicana Field, the site of Game 1 of this 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Rays. New catcher for the Rays, J.P. Arancibia, pinch hit for Rene Rivera, takes over for him behind the dish. And the new pitcher, the 5th of the game for the Rays, Andrew Bellotti, into his 7th game, 2-1 with a 1.32 earned run average, 13 2/3, 13 strikeouts, 7 walks, and opponents hitting under 200 at 174. As Pablo Sandoval will take a pitch outside.
4 times Bellotti's been up this year with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Sandoval 2 hits in the game, 2 for 3. And he skies one to left field. Matuk out there and left will make the catch for the first out here of the 8th inning. Red Sox have action in their pen. Shinichi Tozawa getting ready for the bottom of the 8th inning as Wade Miley tonight goes 7 for the Red Sox and pitching very well in this ball game. Just that first inning giving up 3 runs, and after that really very, very good.
Yeah, you've got to give a lot of credit to Miley for making an in-game adjustment against this lineup of Tampa Bay. They came out swinging the bat, very aggressive early in counts, and then he changed a little bit. More off-speed pitches to start off hitters.
Steele fouling it off at the dish. Almost tumbled down. Miley, really the most consistent pitcher the Red Sox have had all year. 7 innings, 7 hits. Total of 3 runs. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 5. And again, all 3 of those runs coming in the first inning. Ended up with 109 pitches. Bellotti taking over for Geltz, who went an inning giving up a hit. No runs walked about it. That was intentionally. They intentionally walked Ortiz, and he had a strikeout. Hitting Travis Shaw in the 7th inning. Steele fouling it off to the right, down 1-2. For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to the Cystic Fibrosis Multiple Sclerosis Fund. Alltown is New England's premier healthier convenience retailer. Steele fouling it back again. Tonight's attendance 14,796. 14,796. Game 1 of a 3-game series here from St. Petersburg. Earlier tomorrow night, a 6 p.m. start, and day baseball on Sunday. 1-2 pitches in the dirt. Inside, and it's a full count. I want to send along birthday wishes to a great Red Sox fan, Jennifer Carlson, from Brookfield, Connecticut. Watching Red Sox baseball tonight as the Red Sox and Rays. New acquaintances again in St. Pete. 3-2 pitch coming up. And it's ball 4. Rusney Castillo with a 1-out walk. Sunday at an all-new rookie and prospect-themed episode of NESN Clubhouse, Blake Swihart tells you the best part of his hometown. Matt Barnes gets grilled on small talk, and some young Red Sox find out firsthand that yoga is harder than it looks. Catch it all Sunday at 11:30, presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts.
Is that Streisky?
I think it is.
That's not fair because he's standing on his hair.
Yeah. He wasn't actually elevated at all, really.
No,
it's just his hair.
His hair. His hair was holding him up.
1 out, 1 on for Ryan Hannigan. Been there for a strike to Hannigan. He struck out looking, grounded back to the mound. Last time up had a sacrifice fly. Difference in the game right now with the Red Sox on top 4-3, batting here in the 8th. Outside, and it's a ball and a strike. Yeah, that is clearly unfair.
Yeah, it's not fair. He's using his hands and his hair.
Yeah, that's a hair stand, not a handstand.
He's got a microphone on him, too. I mean, he's got all kind of junk on.
He's not really up in the air, though, at all.
No. I play a little hit and run right here. 1-on-1. Give it a shot. Hennigan goes well to the opposite field.
Nah, 2-1. No, actually, it's going to be a strike. 1-2. Called a strike.
I thought this ball was definitely inside. Let's see what the Amica pitch zone says. Breaking ball. Does it come back enough?
Close. Hennigan didn't like it. He's down to the count 1-2. Lead at first base for Castillo. Held on by Schaefer. They'll check on him, but he's back to the bag easily. Swing and a miss. Hennigan down on strikes. 2 down in the 8th.
Had a pretty good slide at that time. Milwaukee going to the breaking ball after a lot of fastballs inside to Rusney Castillo. He goes to the breaking ball here to Hennigan to pick up the strikeout. Good slider.
So 2 down, runner at first, and it brings up Jackie Bradley Jr. He is 0 for 3 in the game. He is struck out, popped out to short, grounded out to short. They're shifting on Jackie Bradley on the right side of the infield. As Drupal Cabrera going over to the right. And a pitch outside for ball 1 from Andrew Bellotti. Bellotti, a guy who's gone multiple innings for Kevin Cash. At least 2 and 4 of his 6 appearances. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. It evens the count at 1-1. Sandoval flied out to left to begin the inning. Rusney Castillo with a walk. Ryan Hennigan strikes out, so 2 down, a runner at first base. So the hit distribution for Bradley Jr. 50% to center. Starting to stop at first base for Castillo grabbed the attention of J.P. Arancibia.
Well, if he's gonna go, this would be a good count to go on. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Swing and a miss for Bradley Jr. and it's 2-2.
There's the fake at first base by Castillo, but the ball down and away from Bradley Jr. He can't make contact. The sinking fastball that time.
There he goes at first. The pitch is inside. It's dropped by Arancibia. Stolen base for Rusney Castillo.
Good pitch. He picked the breaking ball to go on that time. That certainly gives him an advantage. Plus, Aaron Seavey cannot handle the ball. On the transfer, just drops it, and no play at second base. So Castillo does get in a scoring position with a stolen base.
2 down, Castillo at second, and Jackie Bradley Jr. with a full count. Down and in, and that is ball 4 for Bradley. Second walk of the inning allowed now by Bellotti. And the Red Sox have 2 on with 2 outs, and Mookie Betts coming up. Well, tomorrow at 5:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU. TC Jim Rice and Steve Lyons will preview Rick Porcello's start against the Rays. DCU Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Rick Porcello will be on the mound for the Red Sox tomorrow. Fresh off his win against the Toronto Blue Jays. Matched up against lefty and Matt Moore. 1-3 on the year for Tampa Bay. Here is Betts with 2 on and 2 down here in the 8th. In the dirt, and it's picked that time by Aaron Sebia. Riefenhauser still up in the pen right now for Tampa Bay. Already used Romero, Gomes, Geltz, and Bellotti. Relief of Archer went 5+. The 1-0. 2-0. Aaron Sebia is going to go out and talk to Bellotti. He's already walked 2 in this inning. And falling behind the batter, 2-0. Tomorrow at 5, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. TC Jim Rice and Steve Lyons continue tracking David Ortiz's pace for his 500th career home run. Castillo at second, Bradley at first, 2 down. Popped up, foul, backhand out of play. Castillo at second base, Bradley at first, 2 down. 2-1 pitch coming to Betts. And a pop-up, foul ground again. This time a chance, but off the glove. It appeared of Aaron Sebia couldn't get it.
Very nice effort by Aaron Sebia, going as far as he could go into comfortable territory there where his dugout. Leans over the wall, tries to make the catch. Very nice effort. And then everybody rushing to hold him up.
Two-two pitch. And Betts slides into center field. Kiermaier is out there waiting, and he makes the catch that ends the inning. So Bellotti works his way around 2 walks. Red Sox lead it 4-3.
tonight. David Ortiz with a double. That's going to drive in Xander Bogaerts on a ball over Kiermaier's head. We move to the 6th inning. Travis Shaw gets a breaking ball inside, pulls it for the double, a drive in a run. Sandoval follows him with a base hit. There's Sandoval slapping that ball to the opposite field. And then Hannigan with a sacrifice fly to center field to get the third run of that inning home. That's Travis Shaw coming in to score for the Red Sox.
Game summary brought to you by Xfinity. Wade Miley departs after 7 innings, giving up 3 runs. Chance for the victory here would be his 12th of the year. The bullpen can help out. Xander Bogaerts 2 for 4. Chris Archer 5+ innings, not part of the decision, giving up 3 runs. And Evan Longoria 1 for 3 for the Rays. Here is Longoria leading it off in the 8th inning against Shinichi Tozawa. The first pitch in the dirt for ball 1. So Tozawa out there for Boston, 61st appearance, 2-6. 3.55 earned run average. 55 strikeouts, 13 walks. And opponents hitting at .269 against Tozawa. Center fielder Betts over towards right center. Gap out in left center here for Longoria. Popped up foul. That'll get out of play to the left. Longoria tonight with a double back in the first inning to drive in a run. Grounded into a fielder's choice and fouled out down the right field line on a good running catch by Jackie Bradley Jr. back in the 5th inning. One pitch in there for strike 2. Red Sox have more action in the pen. Tommy Lane, the left-hander, warming. Outside to Longoria. Four runs, 8 hits, an error for Boston. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Tampa Bay. Rays batting here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 3, 4, and 5 featured in the inning. 4 for 15 in his career against Tozawa. And Longoria going the other way towards the gap in right center field. Back to the track of the wall. Betts plays it, has trouble with it, and Longoria will round second base, but return with a leadoff double here in the bottom of the 8th.
Second double of the night for Longoria. Drove in a run back in the first inning with a double, and this went almost 3 bases, but made the wise decision to stop at second with nobody out. Gets that fastball away from Tozawa, down and away, and just takes it to the opposite field. A line shot in that gap between center and right. Well, the Rays have really had their chances here late in the ball game.
Well, the double to get it started here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here comes Logan Forsythe. 0 for 3 in the game. He's flat out to the warning track in center. Struck out twice, both times looking. And he fouls it off to the right for strike 1.
Looks like he was trying to go in that direction regardless of where the ball was. He got a fastball inside and tried to push it to the opposite field to advance Longoria to third base. Watch this swing, how he's trying to move that ball the other way. That ball very far inside. That's a tough pitch to get the barrel of the bat on.
On the ground, and he does get it the other way. Down the right field line, here comes Longoria to tie this game for a side. An RBI single for Logan Forsythe, and it's 4-4.
Well, all he's trying to do there is advance a man to third base in a one-run game, and he gets the bonus. He gets the base hit. That's a good pitch from Tazawa. That ball's inside, but it's better hitting. This time the hands come in a little bit farther, and he's able to move that ball right down the first base line on the good part of the bat.
So tied up here in the 8th inning. Forsythe at first base, and as Asdrubal Cabrera coming up here for Tampa Bay. Cabrera grounded out in the first inning, grounded out in the third, singled to center in the 6th. In there for strike one. Brad Boxberger getting ready now in the Rays pen. Boxberger with 34 saves on the year. Time was called, and the pitch does not count.
Very late call there by Barrett, the home plate umpire. Tazawa threw a split-fingered fastball. That was a good one, but nullify all that with the timeout. That's very late.
Down and in, and it's a ball and a strike now to Cabrera.
And it really caused him to change his pitch. You know, he went with the splitter, and all of a sudden he's going to come back with the fastball.
Tazawa last working on Tuesday against Toronto. Stranded 2 runners, left by Noe Ramirez in the 8th inning. This will get away, and heading to second base is Forsythe. Pitch kicking off Hannigan and far away.
That's a splitter again from Tazawa, and this one very, very difficult pitch to block. Hannigan tries his best at it, but it deflects off him and goes toward the Red Sox dugout.
Wild pitch charged to Tazawa.
So the potential go-ahead run in scoring position at second base.
Now Cabrera squaring, and he'll let that one go. 3-1. The corner, Sandoval and Shaw. Go ahead run in scoring position, and Logan Forsythe at second base. Cabrera with 1 sacrifice bunt this year. Not bunting this time. Drives one out towards deep right center field. Betts going back at the wall. It is gone. A 2-run home run for Asdrubal Cabrera. Certainly not bunting. Homering instead. A 2-run shot and a 6-4 Tampa Bay lead.
You take the bunt off and you put the home run sign on. And that's exactly what they get right there. 3-1 count. Tazawa comes with the fastball. It's down, but a very good low ball hitter is Asdrubal Cabrera. And you can see Hannigan wanted that fastball away, and it stayed kind of middle. And Cabrera a long way to center field.
5th home run allowed by Tazawa on the season, as Cabrera has put the Rays on top. They've tied it up in this inning and now taking a 2-run lead. It's been a 3-run inning. Still nobody out, and Souza fouls it off into the Red Sox dugout. 0-1 the count to Steven Souza Jr. 1 for 3 in the ball game with an RBI single. So Miley no longer a part of this decision. Pitched well, but nothing to show for it. As Tazawa now on the hook for Boston. Swinging a foul tip. Ball and 2 strikes here to Souza. Last 7 appearances entering tonight for Tazawa, a 7.11 earned run average. It's been a different Tazawa here late in the season. And you wonder about all the use that he's had over the years. 1-2 pitch. He is on the ground at third base, deep third. Long throw for Sandoval, and he will not get it there in time. Pulling his foot off the bag, apparently was Shaw the indication.
You know, Don, we were talking about that. It was the last homestand about all the appearances from Tazawa, and that's something, in my opinion, that's really going to have to be evaluated in the offseason. I know that for a number of years he's been a very good setup man for the Red Sox. He's not cut out for closing. That we know. But how many bullets are left in that arm?
Yeah.
I mean, he's made a lot of appearances, a lot of pitches, and you just got to wonder, you know, is it time to have him move somewhere else?
71 appearances each of the 2 years coming in, and now you're having a tough year here at the back end of this season. In the dirt to Richie Schaefer, the first baseman. Schaefer, nice, reached on a fielder's choice, grounded out to short, struck out swinging. Shaw holding on Souza Jr. Still nobody out here for Tampa Bay in the 8th. In the dirt, taking off for second base is Souza. He'll get there without a problem.
Boy, he was off like it was a delayed steal. I mean, he really got off there very quickly. Get a look at that lead at first base, see if it is a delay steal. 1, 2, then he reads the ball in the dirt. I don't think it was delay. I think he just read the ball in the dirt and took off. Good base running.
They have given him a stolen base on that.
Well, then they thought it was delay steal.
Yep. 2-0 pitch to Schaefer. That's in there for a strike. Schaefer didn't like it, thought it was low. Kevin Kiermaier waiting on deck. A big 8th inning already for Tampa Bay. They've scored 3 times, taking a 6-4 lead. Now taking off for third as Souza throw is going to be late. Another stolen base. Now he's at third with nobody out.
Yeah, you know, no chance for Hannigan. I mean, he stole that one on Tazawa. Tazawa very slow to home plate, and even though they're trying to hold him on, you can see right there he got a jump and really no contest at all. So the Red Sox now have to pull the infield in. Still nobody out in the inning.
Eight stolen bases against Tazawa this year. 2-2 to Schaefer. And a swing and a miss. Schaefer strikes out. Tazawa needed that. It's the first out of the inning.
Okay, here I go. Would you squeeze in this situation?
No.
You wouldn't do it.
No. I would never squeeze.
Really?
It's too dangerous.
Really?
Too many bad things can happen. You love to squeeze, though.
I'd be a horrible manager because I'd be so easy to predict.
I know when you would squeeze. I would have a good feeling for it. Well, Torey LaMelo out there to make the change as Tazawa will head off. A tough outing for him. He's still responsible for the runner at third. Tommy Lane coming in. No, they should head elsewhere.
Where are you going to go? Bradenton?
Yeah.
Sarasota?
64% saying no. I got a lot of tweets tonight about Orlando. People think that it would work in Orlando.
Yeah, I know. I wonder. You know, with Disney World, right?
Yep.
Disneyland right there, I wonder.
The Braves doing well there during spring training a number of years. Right at Disney, in fact.
Yeah.
Okay, they had taken that first stolen base away from Sousa Jr., made it a wild pitch, as we thought. And he does get credit, obviously, for the second stolen base, or really the first stolen base in this case, of third. And he is there with one down. Infield in. We'll see what happens here. Is Kevin Kiermaier about to face Tommy Lane. 54th appearance for Lane. 1-1. 4.04 earned run average. And there is strike one.
Now I would take it off. I wouldn't put it on now.
Kiermaier lines out to third. Sandoval able to make the catch. 2 down.
They should have squeezed. That was a pretty tight at bat right there. Little soft line drive to third base. Get in on him on the fastball right here and right to Sandoval. A little soft line drive. See, I would have been right.
Cashy wasn't thinking along with you. It is 6-4 here. Tampa Bay on top of Boston. pitcher Noe Ramirez into the game. 8th appearance, 0-1 with a 3.68 earned run average, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks. And opponents hitting at 250 against the right-hander. Comes in with 2 outs, a runner at third. J.P. Arancibia, the batter. And a high fly ball foul. Out ahead of that, sending it a long way, but foul. Arancibia pinch hit in the 7th and struck out swinging. High fly ball to deep left field, and that ball is crushed up and out of here. A 2-run home run for J.P. Arancibia. Tampa Bay take an 8-4 lead. Second 2-run home run of this inning. Well, he straightened it out. First one was a long way foul, but he straightens it out. Gets his 5th home run of the month.
Yeah, he had a couple of pretty good swings against Noe Ramirez there. Came back with the fastball, and first pitch he pulled foul was a slider. Comes back with the fastball, and then just absolutely crushes this one.
Now base is empty for Brandon Guyer, and the pitch in there for a strike. Former Toronto Blue Jays catcher J.P. Arancibia now with Tampa Bay. So this season now, that is 27 home runs for Arancibia between the minors and the majors. Led the International League with 22 home runs when he was called up on August 26th from AAA Durham. All of his home runs this season coming in September, and he's now got 5. There's a ground ball down the third baseline, foul. 2-2. Well, the Red Sox had a 4-3 lead coming into this inning, and now trail 8-4 with 2 outs in the 8th. Zawa charged with 4 runs as striking out to end the inning is Brandon Guyer. But what an inning for Tampa Bay. They lead at 8-4. cowbells. You got DJ Kitty. You got all kinds of stuff going on here. We play along to the 9th inning. Big inning for Tampa Bay, scoring 5 times in the bottom of the 8th. And Brad Boxberger, even though it is no longer a safe situation, on to try to finish it off. His 60th appearance, 4-9 in save opportunities. Got 34 saves and 39 tries. 65 Ks to 28 walks, and opponents hitting at .229 against the right-hander. Josh Rutledge leading it off for the Red Sox here in the 9th inning. Rutledge had taken over at second base for Brock Holt, and bats for the first time tonight. Rutledge, Bogarts, and Ortiz scheduled to bat in the inning. In there for a strike, 2-1. Andrew Bellotti right now is the pitcher of record for Tampa Bay. He ended up pitching the 8th inning. Walked 2 in that inning. Struck out a batter. It did not allow a run. Red Sox had 2 men on, trying to obtain some insurance on top 4-3, but couldn't do it. And then Tampa Bay comes back with a big bottom of the 8th, scoring 5 times. 3-1. And a strike in the bottom of the zone. Last thing Boxberger wants to do is walk the first batter after he's got himself a 4-run lead. Rutledge strikes out for the first out of the 9th inning. Take a look at the Toyota play of the game. And as Asdrubal Cabrera with a 2-run home run, this would put Tampa Bay on top 6-4 with his 12th home run of the year. They would get another 2-run home run later in the inning by J.P. Arancibia. All part of the 5-run inning. Here's Xander Bogaerts. Fouled off to the right out of play, and it's 1-1. David Ortiz on deck. Red Sox batting here in the 9th. Line up the middle into center field. A base hit for Xander Bogaerts.
Another big offensive night for Bogarts. 3 hits in the game, a 3-for-5 night. So that 318 average will rise after tonight's performance. It's a fastball. They're playing him the pull, and he shoots it right back over the second base bag for the base hit.
Well, David Ortiz coming up. Doubled back in the first inning, grounded out in the 4th, singled in the 6th. Intentionally walked in the 7th inning. And Ortiz takes strike 1. Shifting on the right side are the Rays. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Fastball.
Yeah, it's only 93, but it looks quicker than that, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
That explodes right there on David Ortiz.
1 out, 1 on. Ortiz strikes out. Fastball rising in 93. 2 strikeouts for Boxberger. 2 down in the inning.
That's a couple of rises he's thrown in this inning. 1 to Rutledge to strike him out. Now the same thing to David Ortiz. Looks like this ball just takes off right at the end.
So 2 down, a runner at first base, and Travis Shaw the batter. Bogarts will take second as the pitch in there for a strike. Defensive indifference. Won the count here to Shaw. And that's going to miss outside. Shaw has walked, struck out, doubled and scored, and struck out again. Popped up foul, back and out of play. The ball waiting on deck. One-two pitch. Up high. Trying again with that fastball. Roethlisberger trying to finish off the Red Sox here in game one of the series. 2-2. Shaw lifts it to left field, and that's going to get in for a base hit. Bogarts to be stopped at third. It took getting it back in, and it's first and third with two down.
A nice job there by Travis Shaw. He gets a changeup. After that high fastball, they try to go back downstairs with the changeup, and he just kind of serves it out there in left field for a base hit. That's a pretty tough pitch to hit, too. That's well off the outside part of the plate, but covers the plate. Gets the base hit.
In the dirt, blocked there by Aaron Sebia. Big swing and a miss there for Sandoval, and it's a ball and a strike. Rusney Castillo waiting on deck, hoping to get a chance here in the ninth. Swing and a miss, fastball right down the middle at 93.
Challenge time right here. I'm throwing my best fastball right down the middle. Let's see if he can hit
The
it.
1-2 pitch. And a foul to the screen by Sandoval to stay alive. Another fastball there.
I think he's only thrown one off-speed pitch, and that was that changeup to Shaw for a base hit.
Sandoval not chasing that. 2-2. Bogarts at third base, Shaw at first base, two down here in the ninth. Sandoval pops it up left side of the infield. Longoria calling and catching out number 3 as the Rays hold on to win their big 8th inning, scoring 5 times. We'll step aside, come back with more from St. Pete after this.